When it comes to the horror genre in zombie games, no one does it better than Capcom. The Resident Evil series is more popular than ever today, after stellar recreations of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4. We've even seen fantastic new entries like Resident Evil Village. Beyond RE, the company has another series that focuses on these bloodthirsty creatures, Dead Rising. This series initially began in 2006, when Dead Rising was first released for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. In the years following, multiple sequels have been released, most recently Dead Rising 4 in 2016. In comes Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, which was revealed out of nowhere earlier this year. Just after the events of Summer Game Fest and most summer showcases, Capcom dropped a teaser trailer for the game that revealed a September launch date. This remaster brings the original Dead Rising game into the RE engine for the first time, with a plethora of enhancements and additions to boot. After spending quite a good bit of time with the game, it's safe to say that Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster serves as an excellent introductory point to the series for new fans, while also offering a fresh coat of paint for returning players. You play as investigative journalist Frank West, who requests to be airlifted to the town of Willamette, Colorado. As the helicopter approaches, it's hard not to notice that something is seriously wrong. Cars are not moving, businesses are not open, and worst of all, the people on the ground are walking strangely and attacking others. Frank requests to be dropped on the top of the Willamette Parkview Mall, where he is greeted by a mysterious man who encourages him to check out the situation below. Upon closer inspection, the truth is revealed. Willamette is overrun by zombies, and you have to survive 72 hours before you can be extracted. Not only that, but the remaining group of survivors seems strange. A few people appear to understand what is going on, yet they refuse to clue you in on anything. As the story unfolds, you learn who these people are, inching closer to the truth. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster treats its narrative like a tried and true detective case, with 10 cases, each containing a few scenarios to discover. Although it might sound weird and constrictive to be confined to a mall, let me assure you, Willamette Parkview Mall is massive, and there are all kinds of stores to explore. There is a stunning amount of detail littered throughout each of these stores, and you can find all sorts of items to use as weapons inside these establishments. Additionally, Frank can scavenge the stores to find resources and food, with stat boost items even available if you're lucky. Before this release, I had yet to experience the story and world of Dead Rising, so I was not exactly sure what to expect beyond Frank West and zombies, quite frankly. The engaging story that unfolds throughout the game is packed with humor, and despite its shorter runtime, I was gripped till the very end. Each character had interesting motivations, and I pieced together the story like a detective as each case went along. The beauty of Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster's gameplay lies in the absolute madness that unfolds in each area. You never know what to expect, and Frank can basically pick up any item in sight to use against the hordes of zombies. This results in something that can only be described as chaos, but it's fun. I found myself at times laughing at the ridiculousness of Frank's weapon of choice, but it never failed to beat down any zombie who dared to step in my path. The game can also get challenging fast, which I appreciate. Zombie swarms can easily kill you if you're not careful, as Frank can only attack in one direction at once for the most part. Each time you die, you'll retain your levels and stats, so it's not a big deal and more of a learning experience. Especially since the game is short, I had no problem retracing my steps with newfound knowledge from previous playthroughs. Part of what makes a game like Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster so special is its ability to make every playthrough different from the last. You almost never will encounter the exact same zombies with the same weapon, so you're constantly experimenting with what works and what doesn't. Combat itself is very enjoyable overall throughout the game, but it definitely can feel clunky at times. The gunplay in particular, especially during specific encounters, can feel like a system from the past, but this really checks out considering this is a remaster of a 2006 title. The rest of the weapons have a much wider range of attack, so there is not any aiming required for the most part. Simply pick up that park bench and whack that zombie all the way across the field. With only 72 hours to survive, it is up to you on how to complete the mission. The game will throw timed opportunities, called scoops, at you that act as side quests. You will only have a limited time to complete these, so you have to think carefully and quickly about whether or not you'd like to take one on. Generally, completing a scoop will grant you prestige points, or PP, which can be used to level Frank up. One design choice I found a little puzzling was the implementation of loading screens throughout the mall. Every single area in cutscene leaves you with a loading screen. While some of these move rather quickly, it is an interesting decision from Capcom to opt to not make Willamette Parkview Mall a seamless map. It's worth noting that it's possible this is a result of the original game's code, since this is a remaster and all, so I don't hold it too heavy against the game. I also do wish that zombies were a little more aggressive at times. Occasionally, I'd be right next to a few of them and I wouldn't even be noticed, which made running around feel effortless. This generally applied to areas that were a little more open, such as the main mall hallway or the field just outside of it, but it was noticeable and never really challenged me. The costumes Frank can wear are also hilarious. You can become Leon S. Kennedy, Mega Man, Ken, and so many more characters. These can even change the mall music. A smile instantly appeared on my face as I explored the mall, listening to familiar tracks from games like Resident Evil 2. Beyond the standard mode, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster also offers Infinity Mode. This mode puts Frank in the mall, and you're tasked with surviving for as long as you can with limited resources. I had a ton of fun with this one, experimenting with different routes and weapons in an attempt to stay alive. To sum it up, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster has a fantastic gameplay loop that never got old even once after countless retries at playthroughs. As I walked throughout the shopping mall, visited the stores, and hopped on Space Rider even, I couldn't help but feel that Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster feels like a time capsule of the past in the best way possible. This remaster brings everything from that time period back in 4K, looking better than ever before. Just looking at the footage of the original game, it's clear how much the RE engine has done to elevate this experience. Characters now have proper facial animations and reactions, which makes for many memorable moments in Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. So many secrets still remain, and I feel that it will take far more than 2 complete playthroughs to discover everything the game has to offer. The strength of Dead Rising is its ability to offer a unique playthrough every single time. Sure, there's a story to follow, but the gameplay in between will be unique to your experience. This is something seen only today in various roguelike games, and I have no doubt that there are probably countless other ways to beat the game. Overall, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is an excellent modern take on the 2006 classic. As someone who had never played a Dead Rising game prior to this title, I'm looking forward to checking out the rest of the series on Steam sometime in the near future. And hey, hopefully Capcom can move on future Deluxe Remasters as well. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster has everything you could ask for from a game. A great and refreshing protagonist in Frank West, an engaging story, and gameplay that is loads of fun. I hope Capcom will take the initiative to remaster Dead Rising 2 or even bring back the series in full force with a 5th entry in the future. Final Weapon is giving Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster a 4 out of 5. Capcom provided Final Weapon with a PlayStation 5 copy of Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster for review purposes.